Okay, so this is in honor of Yud Shvat and the Rebbe's inauguration,
Yes.
and
The Frierdiker Rebbe.
the Frierdiker Rebbe, and yes, and also this also in the Schut and in the Frierdiker Rebbe's Schut, we should get a lot of registrants before the early bird ends at the 30th. In my retreats in Florida and in Mexico, Muncie is full. Baruch Hashem.
Hey, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. Okay. So today we're going to, in Women in Tanach, we're going to learn a little bit about Rachel. So get your booklets, the blue one over there, the big blue one, and also the Tanach. And we're starting in chapter 30, verse 14 to 16. And this is something I did not teach you, but I was going to skip it because I want to move ahead. But together with Bilha and Zilpa, hopefully this will all work out. That will. So this is about also really topic right dear to my heart, about the dudaim, the love flowers. Dudaim from the same word as dud, right? Love. Yes.
Can you please repeat where in the Tanakh we are?
Yeah, just
Chapter 30.
30, 14 to 16. Okay. 30, 14 to 16.
Oh, thank you so much for the visual.
Okay, I understand. This is actually, I learned from the Chama Leibovitz Tzatzal, that I had learned with her and a class how to teach Tanach. Okay, and she said, whenever you say open a book to this, everyone's gonna ask after.
What?
Where? What did you say? Where is it? Where is it? So like 10 people are gonna ask you, so always write it. She said that.
She's so cool.
Yeah, like it's like how to teach Tanach, always, and many other things she taught me.
Because sometimes even though you said it, like, I don't know, it's hard for me to visualize.
I understand. So she said that, and I just was lazy.
I love her.
Yes. I had the schut to learn with her when she was 93. In her last year of teaching, I think. Yeah, and I was and she passed away like after that year, I think. And I went to her Levi. I wrote a poem about her. It was so special to learn with her, because really I was learning in Turkol for history, for Jewish history, but this was not Jewish history. This was like pedagogy, how to teach Tanakh. I said, can I please, I want to just take a class with her. And even though it's not my topic, and they understood, everyone understood that. And they said, yeah, that's fine. That can be, they can be accounted for one of your courses. Okay, so here we see about Reuven. Okay, and that's and Reuven ties together this class about Rachel and the class about Bilha and Zilpa. There was also something of Reuven there, if you remember. So, first, it says, Velech Reuven bimek tzir chitim. Reuven went in the time of the wheat harvest. Veyimtza dudaim besadeh. And he found these dudaim, which we're going to talk about what they were, in the field. Ve'otam el Leah imo. He brought them to Leah, his mother. V'tomer Rachel el Leah. And Rachel said to Leah, Tnina li miduda'ei pnech. Give me some of your sons dudaim. V'tomer la hama'at kach tech et ishi v'lakachet gam et duda'ei bni. You almost took my husband. Now you also want to take my sons dudaim. ותאמר רחל, לכן ישכב עמך הלילה תחת דודי בנך. So Rachel said, okay, so in that case, then he, who's he, will sleep with you this night in exchange for your sons Dudaim. Who's he? Yaakov. ויבוא יעקב מן השדה בערב, and Yaakov came from the field in the evening, ותצא לאה לקראתו, and Leah went towards him, ותאמר אלי תבוא, and she said, come to me, כי שכרתיך בדודאי בני, because I hired you in exchange of the דודאים of my בני, of my son, וישכב עמה בלילה הוא, and he slept with her that night. Okay, so that last pasuk we discussed when we learned about Leah. But what questions do you have on the other, on the first two psukim, 14 and 15? There's a lot of strange things here. What is this story about? And what some of the words don't make sense. And
I have a question.
yes, I ask now. Shoot all your questions.
Okay. Dudaim is plural, and then Dudae is one, only one.
Dudae is the construct form, like the Dudaim of somebody, like Bait, Beit, Knesset, Isha, Eshet Chayil, Dudaim, Dudae, Nashei Chabad, Nashim, Nashei, Dudaim, Dudae. Okay, it's like when it goes to, and it leans on the next word. Okay, like Nashech, the women of Chabad. Nashech,
so
they're leaning. So it's a form that's leaning. It's called in English the construct state, but most people don't know grammar in English also, so it doesn't help. So no, not that I know so much. I just know this. Okay, to the A. It's leaning on the next word, so they cut some of it off, so it becomes more like a contraction, two words together. Yes, Bella?
So the question, what was your question previously? Like, what is going on here?
What is strange here? So one question we could also ask is, what are these Dudaim? What's the whole big deal about them? That's the central question, right? Like, what do they do? Why did Reuven pick them? Why didn't he give them to his mother? Why did Rachel want them? Why did Leah react in this way?
Right.
And what question do you have about that? Why did Leah react in this way? You could have a really sharp question about that. She said, you almost took my husband, now you also want my sons to the im?
I don't like her attitude. I don't like her attitude. Like, Rachel was supposed to marry her. Was supposed to marry Yaakov.
Yes.
She did her a massive favor. She would have been ashamed. She would have been ridiculed.
Right.
She would have been abandoned at the altar. But instead, she was humble, and she let her sister marry the man
Right.
that was in love with her. And
Right.
she had the audacity to be like, "You took my husband. You took my husband." Like,
Right, so, but what do we learn from that? Do you think, okay, so that's the question. How could Leah talk like that? And I want to just like, this is something that teaches us the greatness of Rachel, actually. Do you think she would really have that attitude if she knew what Rachel was doing for her, did for her? Would she really say that? It's Leah, she's a tzadikah, you know. It's not like some like obnoxious teenage girl, you know, like, or some, it's not like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean like, you're amazing, okay?
but there are obnoxious teenage girls that are like, "Yeah, you owe me the world."
No, it's like in general, teenagers can be like that. So it's not about anybody, okay? And so the question, but it's Leah, the tzadikah, the mother of the most of the tribes. Would she really speak like that if she knew what Rachel sacrificed for her? No.
The way you're asking the question,
I'm sorry, I made it too leading a question. I didn't know how to say it in a way that would be more of a question.
I think Leah.
And now I want to know more about what you mean. Like, do you mean like the emotional struggle that Rachel went through?
Everything, and when she gave her husband to Leah, not to embarrass Leah, the first thing, because he's saying, you almost took my husband. If she said that, how can it be that she could say that? Just like Bichabella explained it. What a chutzpah. Like, Rachel did everything. She's the one who took Rachel's husband, you know.
I think Leah struggles with being grateful, and at least in the beginning of her marriage. I think she has like insecurity, and then that's why all the imahot were supposed to be barren, but she was the first one not to be barren because Hashem saw that she was the hated wife. So, like, psychologically, you would understand, okay, she feels like she's not wanted, and now she's like, oh, you want to take my husband?
But what the particular thing that you say about gratitude, the Talmud says that's when she gave birth to Yehuda, and she says, now I will thank Hashem, that Leah was the first person that truly thanked Hashem.
After her third kid.
Okay,
After 4.
But this is after. This is also after. Here it's after. Yehuda was already born then. This is after everything. Like
the first person.
This is after she said that.
Truly.
But that was something we discussed when we learned about Leah. So we're not go back to that. The way she thanked Hashem, no one else thanked Hashem the way she did. She's known for that, and it's also, Rachel is known for being the master of silence. Leah is known to be the master of gratitude. From her, Yehuda and David HaMelech learned. David is all his Tehillim and everything, like praise and gratitude to Hashem.
Yeah.
They learned it from Leah, so that was not an issue. So, what could be the answer? No, you figure. I gave a leading question. Why did Leah say that?
Because she didn't know really the extent of what Rachel had.
She didn't know anything about what Rachel sacrificed for her. That's the proof from what she said here, because she's specifically a woman that has the attitude of gratitude. She would never say that. That would go totally if she didn't know. And so, this is what the Midrash says. I mentioned before, but I'm gonna repeat that every gift that Yaakov sent to Rachel, who received it? Who did Laban give it to? It went through Laban, because Laban, was in charge. Any mail that came or anything, like he would distribute it. Who did he give it to? Leah. Leah thought the whole time that Yaakov had seen her. In those old days, maybe they don't date so much. Right. And that he wanted her. He heard about her. He checked about her. And that's what she thought the whole time, that she's...
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, the whole time she thought Yaakov
This is the proof from that. Yeah, well, then we learn that from this sentence, because otherwise it doesn't make sense that she would say that. Like, it was my husband, and then you came as a second wife, and, I married him. He gave me present. He wanted me, and then you came and you took away all the love that he had for me, and now he loves you more. And you almost took my husband. And now, why do you want these Dudaim? Yes.
How could she not know? Like, they swapped places before the wedding. Like, what did...
No, they didn't swap places.
I remember when she was under her bed.
She gave the signs. The thing under the bed, Leah didn't know.
What?
But the thing under the bed we discussed, that was a midrash that maybe was not supposed to be taken literally, okay?
Okay.
But they didn't swap anything under the chuppah. Rachel gave her the signs.
So Rachel...
But Rachel didn't say that there were signs. That's the point. She didn't say, oh, Yaakov and me, we have signs, and if I don't give them to you, he's going to say, this is not the woman I want to marry, so I'm going to give them to you now.
So what did he say?
It's so sneaky.
So we talked about that those signs maybe... Is someone here? Come in.
Zoom. Oh, see if the Zoom is working.
Is the Zoom working?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Sorry, I got a text about it.
I also have Malun and Yocheved on it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so... Thank you. So what am I saying? So she didn't say there were signs. There's one opinion that I believe, there's a few opinions, that it was the 3 mitzvot of women. Chana, Nida, and candle-lighting, Hadlakat Nerot. And she just told her, hey, I learned about the people that Yaakov belonged, that these are the mitzvot of women. And so when Yaakov came to ask for the sign, he didn't say, what are the signs, what are our secret signs? He says, what are the special mitzvot of women? And so she knew them, but she didn't know there were signs. That's how I imagine it. I mean, it's not spelled out exactly like that. That is an opinion, these were the signs. But it's clear to me that she didn't know Leah. She would not speak like that.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. I'm in shock. I
Rachel
thought she
did like
knew.
the ultimate revater.
You what?
Rachel did like the biggest revater.
Exactly. And it would be so ungrateful of Leah to speak like that if she knew it. But that's the greatness of Rachel. When you do something so amazing, you want the credit for it. Like, I'm struggling with that. Like, I'm really struggling with that. I like, it's the ego wants to get the credit. Like when people say, oh, the 7 Fruits book, that's so amazing. Who did the graphics? So I want to say, yeah, I also did most of the graphics too. There was someone else doing them with me. But, I like to say that. I just feel like I want to get the credit for this. It was so hard work. It was so hard. The graphics is like so hard for me, but I'm good at it and I love it. I'm not good at the technical, and that's why it's so hard. But, that's nothing. when you do something so amazing, you want to get credit, at least the people you're close with.
Right.
You know? Like, my husband is so humble. He does a lot of stuff. He doesn't get credit. I said, teach me. You don't care. You know, to get credit. Like, he worked for maybe like 100 hours to create in a special workshop a hand for the Sefer Torah from wood. Like, that's like the hand for the Sefer Torah in the Bet Knesset. And no one knew that he did it. He just brought it and you know, donated it. He spent about 100 hours and nobody knew it. And I'm like, how you could do that? He's fixing all the time things that are broken in the big Knesset, takes them home. If he doesn't know how to do something like sewing, I have to fix the curtains, you know, and this and that.
Sewing is a woman's thing.
What? No, that's fine, but nobody knows it. And I'm not like that. I want to be like that, you know, but I know how hard it is, and that's Rachel. She teaches us silence. And all her children, you know, continued that. We talked about that when I taught about the, what's it called, the gemstones, that Binyamin was silent. He didn't tell his father about the sale of Yosef, remember? We talked about that, and that's what Jasper is his stone. Yesh peh, he had a mouth, he could have said, but he decided not to. He got it from Rachel. Like, these are things like inherited. So I have parents that, you know, my mom is like my husband, but I'm like my father. Okay.
My mom is like my husband.
Yeah, my husband's like my mom. She's like that, quiet, doesn't get credit. Anyway, that's true tzniut. That's what Rachel was. Okay, so, but let's talk about the Dudaim. So what can we infer about the Dudaim from the way that Leah said, you know, now you also want the Dudaim, you almost took my husband, now you also want my Dudaim. What do you think the Dudaim was for?
Fertility, because then, like right after this story, she became pregnant and bore Yaakov a fifth son.
Well, but she gave it away to Rachel. Right after the story, she got pregnant with Yisachar, right? So, actually, but many commentators, including Rashi, says that it was a fertility. And that is why, no, I don't know who says it, but it's a known thing that people say. It's not sure it's Rashi. And that's why Rachel wanted them so much. That makes sense that she would want them, because she didn't have any of her own biological children yet. But Ramban and many others says no, it was not fertility flowers, exactly because of what you brought, Sophie. Because Rachel in the end got all of them. If you look carefully in the text, first she says, okay, give me some of your Dudaim of your son. Mi Dudai benech, in verse 14, the end. Not all of them, just some of them. We could share. Could you share with me? You know, your sisters, you could share. And then Leah said, no, And then she said, and why did Leah say, what's the connection between you have almost taken my husband, now you also want my son's Dudaim? What's the connection? What can we learn about the Dudaim from that? You almost took my Dudaim. Now you also want my Dudaim?
Like, why is there like an emotional connection to these flowers?
Yeah. Well, it's probably like expensive or valuable.
What is the emotional connection?
They're
not expensive.
Maybe it's like an affection thing. Maybe Yaakov gave them to her. Or maybe it's something that he likes because it makes
Reuven picked them. Reuven picked them and gave them to Leah. It says that. So why are they flowers? What do you think? It's about an emotional thing. What is it that they? What do they do that Leah felt that Rachel shouldn't ask for, since she almost took her husband?
They're children.
The love of her sons or a son.
No, but children she didn't have. Leah, she didn't say that. What?
Are they like to beautify
her beauty?
Well, Dudaim, what does it mean?
Beloved. So
love. So they make love. They bring love between husband and wife. Maybe aphrodisiac, or maybe also emotional. Yeah. But so that's why Leah's saying, well, you almost took my husband. What do you need the love flowers from? He always loves you more. He loves you more than he loves me. But what did Rachel really feel at this point after Leah already had Yehuda? 4 sons, and she had 0 sons.
She probably like didn't feel loved. She didn't
Right? And like the love grows when you have children together. That's how the love. One opinion of that a man should leave his father and mother and cling to his wife, and they should be one flesh. Ramban says through the child that they have, they become one flesh. They become one. They become united. So with each child, as we saw the way Leah named them, each child she felt more and more connected to Yaakov, and Rachel felt more and more outside. She wanted the love flowers. And the proof is, after, in the end, when she said, okay, if I'm going to make an exchange, I'm going to give you a night it was my night with Yaakov, we're going to make an exchange, I'm buying these love flowers, you're not sharing them with me, then I want all of them. And how do we see that in the Pasuk? Here, in Pasuk 15, Betuta'ei benech, like tachat tuta'ei benech. Okay, so he will sleep with you, tachat tuta'ei benech, instead of the love flowers of your son. Not some of them, not mituta'ei, not all of them. So Rachel got all of them. Who got pregnant? Leah, without those flowers. And what happened with Rachel? Nothing yet. So that's the proof that people say that they were not fertility flowers. Those who say that, there's a machloket. Are they love flowers or fertility flowers? So I think it makes more sense. Also, they love flowers because that's the word means dudaim, dodi. Yeah, and so, okay, but we have to understand something very deep about it, which is at the next text. Okay, which the next text is, well, the text number 1 is that, what did Rachel lose by trading her night with Yaakov? She lost something eternal. And look in text number 1. It's it's the love flowers. What page is it on? What did she lose? And this is really sad. Text 1, and now we're going to, after that, go to text 2.
Do you know the class?
What?
She did not marry to be buried with him.
Right. She lost to be buried with him. She lost to, now she says, you will lie with him tonight, because she said that, and she took lightly the honor and the zchut to lie with Yaakov. She couldn't get to lie with him like Mida connected Mida for all eternity. She lost so much by doing that.
Wait,
And
Leah lost the right to...
no, Rachel is the one who gave away her night,
Right.
like in exchange for the love flowers. And then because of that, she lost the burial in the Machpelah. That's in text number 1. Now in text number 2, I'm going to read it. It's so crazy, text number 2, and that's what we're going to discuss. Rabbi Eliezer says in the Midrash Shir Shirim Rabbah, they both love and they both gained. Okay? Rachel lost the Dudaim. Leah lost the Dudaim because it was her, but she gave them to Rachel. But gained 2 tribes on the burial in the Machpelah. Right? She got Yisachar and right after Zvulun, because they came together. Through this business deal, Leah, I'm going to try to do this.
Wow, that's so cool.
Wait, what?
What's so cool about it?
That's so cool because they did a business deal, and so her interaction with her husband, Leah's interaction with Yaakov was coming from a place of business deal. So then afterwards she had Yisachar and Zevulun, which was also the business.
No, but not just not exactly a business deal. Leah's intention was to bring more tribes into the world. Leah's intention was to do the mitzvah and to do it right away and not to think about the future. But let's just see. So what does Rachel get? Rachel gets the Dudaim, right? Look at text number 2. And Leah gets 2 extra tribe. Okay, I'm just going to write tribe, but it's extra. And Machpelah, right? Now I can reveal to you that those flowers, they're not expensive. They're actually hefker, they're like edible wheat kind of thing. Okay, and we're going to discuss that in a moment. But what do you think about this equation?
I don't think it's fair. That's not a fair trade.
Right, that's the answer I'm looking for. It doesn't seem fair. What, those not expensive flowers that you could just go out and pick, they outweigh two, and they said they both lost and they both gained. That means that they both equally lost something that's equally in value to what they gained. Right? That's what this text number 2, I didn't read all of it. What?
How can that be?
So that's the good question.
Because it's like a metaphor, everything that Judaism stands for.
Right, so it's what it stands for, and I'm going to try to explain it. This is based on Rabbi Eliyahu Kitov, from the one who wrote the Book of the Heritage. He wrote another book, Commentary on the Torah. It's 5 volumes, and I have it in Hebrew. So this is what he said. This is one of the most beautiful things that I read that someone wrote. And this is what he explained. Reuben, based on the Midrash, was 4 years old when he went out to the field. Now, remember, they lived still at whose house? Whose homestead did the whole family live in?
Leah's.
No, but who is the one in charge of all of it?
Lavan.
And he was very stingy, if you know. He was like a trickster. He made himself look like he's white and pure, but really he was like always trying to get deals. And so he kept them the minimum. They didn't have a lot of food, they're just the minimum. He was like really evil and stingy. And so this is based on the Midrash. So Reuben went out in the field, and and this is a question. Why does it have to say it was in the time of the wheat harvest? Like, what do we care whether it was in the wheat harvest or not? If you look back at the Pasuk 14, the beginning, it says that. Why does it have to say that? And actually the Midrash says, in text number 3, this is to tell the praise of the tribes, that it was harvest time, but he, Reuben, did not stretch his hands out in robbery to bring wheat and barley, only the hefker matter that people don't care about. So here I know that they were hefker from this text, that Rashi says that. So what's going on with that? Also another question, what kind of praise is that to the tribes that they don't steal or rob? we expect more of them, like you don't have to be such a great tzaddik not to steal or rob, like most average people don't steal and rob. So these we expect more than why is Rashi saying that? So this whole thing with the wheat harvest, do you know when it's wheat harvest in Israel? And this was not in Israel, but it was near Israel in the Middle East.
It's near Shavuot.
Near Shavuot time. You know what else is ripe at that same time? That's right. All the fruits, okay? The apricots, the plums, well, not everything, but the grapes are starting to come. Like, it's full of everything good. So he goes out in the field. Reuben, 4 years old, he's hungry, and because in their pantry is very little, it's very empty, and outside is everything good. He's a little boy. He could climb a tree, he could pick a plum and just put it in his face, eat it in his mouth. But he doesn't do that. And that's the greatness of any act is how much resistance is to do that act, how hard it is to do it. So for a 4-year-old hungry little boy, it's not to pick something else. That is a great praise. That explains text number 3. Instead, only pick what's hefker, which was the dudaim. They were hefker. They were like weeds, like edible weeds or whatever they were, but they were not something that anyone cared about. And so, la priut. So, what is it about? So what, I would just want to find that amazing gematria. Okay, so the gematria about Reuben. So basically, the number of years that he was 4 is also symbolic, because it's like a fruit. He himself was a fruit. The fruits are forbidden the first 3 years, Ola, And the fourth year is just the first beginning of you can eat the fruit. It's called netareva. You have to redeem something, but you can eat it in the fourth year. So Reuven is the fruit. He's the oldest of the tribes. He's the fruit of all the work that Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov has done. Spiritual work of rectifying the sin of Adam Harishon, Adam and Chava. What was the sin of Adam and Chava?
Eating from the tree.
Eating from the tree. That's stealing. It's something they're not allowed to eat. And they, if someone says you can't touch it, you can't eat it. What does that mean? If you eat it anyway, so you're stealing. If someone says it's my milk, you can't touch it. If someone touches it, if it really was her milk or his milk, and someone touches it, then it's stealing, right? So now, a little deed of impurity is dearer to Hashem than a great deal that's not totally pure. So what Reuben did was so great. He held himself back. Not only did he not take all the other things out there, and that was very tempting, and he was young, but moreover, when he took what was Hefka, what did he do with it? He gave it to his mom. He didn't take something for himself. Right away, he gave it to his mom. He recognized, she raised me. She is in the house with the children. I want to give to her. He's honoring her mother. And that's one of the most essential mitzvot of honoring parents that he knew. And because of that, it says about him, he went, he found, and he brought. Like 3 verbs. It could have just said, and he brought. He went, he found, and he brought. Every single part of his action was enumerated to show the greatness of it. Each step was like he had to overcome himself. And so I wanted to, here's the gematria. So if you take the words Chet etz hadat tov v'ra, Chet etz hadat tov v'ra. Okay, we're not doing that. That's going to take a long time. But it is the same gematria as vayimtza. I'll translate in a moment. Duda'im besadeh. Duda'im besadeh. And there's a little bit more. Ve'yaveh otam el Leah. Ve'yaveh otam el Leah. It just fits. So this equals that. Okay? This is the same gematria as that. What does it mean? The sin of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, good and evil, equals, and he found Dudaim in the field, and he brought them to Leah. The exact same gematria. I checked it a long time ago, not this year, but I did check it to make sure. Rav Eliyahu Kitov brings that. So this is the tikkun, that's the first fruit of the tikkun that Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, plus their wives, have been working on for all these generations to rectify. And Reuven is the first fruit of that work. And so when he brings these to Leah, everything he's giving up, he's mevater. Who does that reflect back on? He's giving up. Rachel. And that's why Rachel said, I want some of these Dudaim because they symbolize what I did. Like the schut of the act of Reuven really belongs to me. The schut of that. And it really did. Because that's what she's been doing, and that, she's been doing that tikkun the most of everybody. And like Reuven is really building on her tikkun. And so that's the story about the Dudaim. That's why they outweigh. They rectify the tree of knowledge. There's the whole spiritual work that they symbolize. And that really belonged to Rachel. And so I want to just show what it does in the end. Dudaim. So this is it. I want to say that the Dudaim rectify also the sale of the firstborn of Esav. Because Esav says, I'm going to die anyway, so what do I need the birthright? So he's just like in the moment, he doesn't care about the future. Like, right now I'm hungry. What about like future generation? I'm going to die. What do I care about passing that birthright down to future generation? So he was an unrectified person living in the moment. But Leah was the rectification of living in the moment. Because she's like, okay, you can have all the schut, but I'll have the night with Yaakov now. Now I'll have the opportunity to raise more tribes. And that's why Yaakov, we talked about when we learned about Leah, he agreed to this deal because he understood that Leah's intentions were pure. She rectified the here and now. I want now to do the mitzvah. Like you say, zrizim makdimim et mitzvah. People who are zrizut, who have alacrity, they do the mitzvah at the first opportunity. Okay, great. Now I can be with Yaakov. I can have an opportunity to conceive more tribes. And that's what she did. And so, but, what about Yaakov? And what about Rachel? So this was Leah. What about... So Leah rectified Esav. She was supposed to rectify Esav. That's why she's supposed to marry him to begin with. Now she Baruch Hashem didn't marry him, but she rectified him anyway. She rectified his approach. But what about Rachel? What is Rachel about? Rachel gives up quantity for quality. She cares more about the long-term results than instant gratification. Right now, I give you my night with Yaakov, even though what I really want is his love. But I give it to you for right now, but I want the bigger tikkun. I want to be part of this eternal rectification, that this is like it belongs to me. And it outweighs. And I'm even willing, and even as I'm doing this, I'm giving up more for you. I'm giving up the burial in the Machpelah. Like that's another concession to Leah. I give up all these things for the spiritual, the quality of this tikkun, of this rectification, that's connected to me. And what happened in the end is that who comes by doing that, by making that exchange with the Dudaim, Rachel became the spiritual mother of David. Because Rachel is really the mother of all the tribes. Because if it wasn't for her, Leah would not have had any of them. So David is the most important. That's when she started feeling like all the pain when Yehuda was born, the ancestor of David. And so so if you look at the word Dudaim, that's what Rachel got. Right? This is what she got. So I have to write in Hebrew, Dudaim. Okay? Which words do you see in there? 2 words.
Dod.
What besides Dod? Who else?
You did.
In a person that we just mentioned?
I can't see. David.
David. Okay, this is how you spell David. She got the Dudaim. She got to be the spiritual mom of David because what is this word? Actually, the Yud. Sometimes David is spelled with a Yud. In Divrei Hayamim, in Chronicles, David is spelled like this, David with a Yud.
Leah became the mother of David HaMelech.
No, but Leah became the biological mother of David HaMelech.
Yeah.
But with this exchange, Rachel became the spiritual mom of David. Dudaim, that's what she got.
In what ways? How was she become spiritual?
That's what I just said. The rectification of eating from the tree of knowledge. Who's going to complete it completely? Mashiach ben David. Okay? This is her tikkun. Mashiach isn't just from Leah. Mashiach is spiritually from Rachel. This is why also Yaakov had to marry both of them because like they became like one person. So Leah's children is also Rachel's children. But specifically David, specifically because of the tikkun, what we said here, the fixing of the sin of eating of the tree of knowledge, that's embodied in those dudaim. That's what they symbolize, that's what they represent. And that's what Rachel gained. She gained those. And when she gained those, okay, I'm going to be the spiritual mom of David. So you get more tribes, you get the Machpelah, but I'm doing this for Am Yisrael. Like there's going to be a redemption because of this whole sale.
Interaction.
Yeah, because of this whole interchange. And so in this interchange, I'm giving up more for you. As I'm gaining, I am giving you. I give you concession. Tribes, Machpelah, you have it. That's who I am. I'm giving up, and now I'm giving everything up so that Israel can have Mashiach ben David. And this is why it says, because of you, Rachel, the children will return to their boundary. Because of you, Rachel, the Geula will come. So this is what I was going to have skipped, so I'm glad that I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't.
Okay, so now I have a few minutes to finish Bilhah and Zilpah class. Okay, so like you have a comment, a question?
No.
Is it clear? Yes?
Yes, thank you.
Because it's a little bit okay, now we have to switch, but it's all connected. You know, all of it is connected. And but this was this is all in Eliyahu Kitov. I did not make any of it up. I'm just like explaining what he said. And where we got up to in Bilhah Zilpah, now find Bilhah and Zilpah. And maybe we'll just have a song in between really quick. Bella, where's your... What song should we do for Tu B'Shvat? Etz Chaim Hi, okay? Get the books. Etz Chaim Hi. Okay, what page is it on? Here. Etz Chaim Hi, okay, so Etz Chaim Hi is page 91. Okay, here. Let's do that on 91. Great. I hope it's 2. Because that's really the rectification. The rectification from eating from the tree of knowledge is the tree of life. So that fits. Yeah, and this is, we have to practice for the Tu B'Shvat Seder. And bring your guitar tuned for the Seder, and we're going to play together during the Seder also. Etz Chaim Hi, Lamachazikim Ba, V'Tom Le'usha De'echea Ta'chenoam V'chol Politivotea Shalom Hashivenu Hashem Elecha V'nashuva Chadeshamenu Kikedem. So we can't do more now because I want to finish Bilhah and Zilpah. I'm not teaching it the third time, and I have 15 minutes. Okay, because this took a little longer than I thought. So we already talked about Bilhah and Zilpah, how they kept the family together. They kept the shalom, like they were buffer zones for Rachel and Leah and all the emotional stuff that was. And
Wow.
you know, we talked about that already.
Yeah.
And then now, and we talked about. Now we got up to text number 7. Okay, this is what we got up to. So in text number 7 is a pasuk from Yeshayahu, and it says that in the future some of the materials are going to be elevated. Okay, what does it say? You want to read, Sophie, in English?
Yeah.
In text number 7, everyone should look at text number 7 in the booklet.
Whereas
In Bilhah and Zilpah.
Whereas you have been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through you, I will make you an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. You shall know that I, Hashem, shall save you, and the mighty one of Yaakov shall redeem you. For brass I will bring gold,
Instead of brass or copper, I'll bring gold.
and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron.
Brass is going to be gold. Hey, Bella, you want to write the other ones?
Yes.
Because then I can finish it quicker. Okay, something is going to change in the end of days, that everything is going to elevate 2 steps. Because the regular order is, what's the most precious material? Gold. The next thing is silver, and the next thing is brass. So brass, what's brass going to become?
Gold.
Wait, what did it say? Gold, right? So it goes up 2. Okay, and the next thing, instead of iron, I will bring silver. So iron is after brass, lower than brass, and goes 2 step up to become silver. Okay, you make it like a little arrow, and then it says instead of wood, and wood is further down. Instead of wood, I'll bring copper. I'll make wood copper. So wood, it becomes, brass, and then instead of the wood copper, instead of the stones iron, the stone, which is further down, everything goes up 2 steps in a hierarchy. Okay, so this is where it is. Okay, these are the things that it has to say. Only these things, these 4. Now I'm gonna. Yeah, that's right. That's one more, but it's not really important.
Stones.
You don't have, that's avanim itself. Stones would be iron. And now I'm going to show you something so cool, I think. So if you take the names, what's the names of the 4 mothers?
Maya, Rachel, Bilhah, Zilpah.
Okay, so that's right. Bilhah, Rachel, I'm going to make it a different order. Zilpah, Leah. What's the acronym of those 4? What's the acronym? Barzel, look. Iron. But here you see who's first. Who is lifted up? The maidservants come before their mistresses. Bilhah comes before Rachel, and Zilpah comes before Leah. Everything is going to turn. Like, they say people had near-death experience. There's someone in the Gemara, and he says, and they asked him, what did you see? He says, I saw an upside-down world. There's different opinions, but one opinion is those who are high in this world, they're low in the next world. Those who are low in this world, they're high in the next world. And this is the future. Then this world will merge with the next world. So those who are low, the maidservant, will be high.
In this world.
In the future world, which is a merging of this and the next world, will be one. Now we have like 2 worlds. We really don't. They really all one, but it feels like 2. Okay, so what is the special ability of Barzel, iron? It's low in the rank, right? It's not the lowest, but it is after gold, silver, and brass. It's number 4. So what is the special thing about that? It has the ability. What do you use iron for?
Like tools.
Tools, and also
Cooking.
like gates that you don't want people to enter. No?
Yeah, it's very strong.
It's very strong material. So that's the strength of the Jewish mother, to not let negativity in. It becomes like an iron wall that, and this is also in general what I've learned from different commentaries, that the fathers bring in the values of Israel, but the mothers keep the negative from coming in. That's our job, like to guard this barzel. Okay, so now, and so basically, the mothers are the locks of the congregation of Israel. It's like an iron lock. Nobody can come in. Okay, so now I have a movement exercise.
Are we gonna move? Can we please move? I'm doing
like over there, okay? So we need 4 people for it.
We have b'diuk 5 people in the class.
So the 5th will be you want to be the 5th? You have to be creative. I'll find something else. But 4 because there's 4 mothers. Okay, so basically partner 1. So how are the mothers together? Barzel. That's what it's about. Wait. You have to talk with each other for a second. How are the mothers together? Barzel, iron. How are their strengths expressed through the movements? That's the cue for this exercise. But here's the guidelines. Get together in 2 pairs. So you're a pair, Bina and Esther, representing Bina and Rachel is 1 pair, and Zilpa and Leah is another pair. You want to switch? You want to be Bella with Bina? I think that will work better, and you'll be with Esther. Okay? So partner 1, so basically there's a post above the waistline, not sitting and bending, and that's for 1 group. And then there's a post below the waistline, bending, not standing upright. Like, how does that, because you have the lower one and the higher ones. But in some way, by having both of those pairs together, so basically you start with, I don't remember what I really meant. It's a little you can do what you want, but you represent those 4 mothers, okay? You want to eat and watch? Because there's only 4.
I thought like we were singing.
So
I thought we were singing.
the point is that the lower becomes the higher becomes the lower. That's what you have to show in this. And you're a pair of Bilha and Rachel. That'll be Bella and Bina. And Zilpa and Leah, that'll be Sophie and Diana. Okay? So, but you do something together. You become 1. But your partners, you hold hands, each of the partners, but hold hands together make it a group of all 4. Yeah. But no, I meant more like 2 hold hands and 2 other hold hands on top of each other somehow. So, yeah. And so, see what kind of movements you can have to imagine that you're not letting any negativity in. You're upholding the house of Israel. Okay, so I'm gonna. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Wait. I can't take the picture because of all these things here. Okay, one more time for us. But there's all these things in the way. And I can't go so far. Here, you should come up here because nobody can see you. Yeah, so now you practice. Come up here.
Take my guitar.
Yeah, I was trying to move your guitar carefully. Okay, come all the way up here. And then I'm taking off this for a second. Okay.
Strong like iron.
You don't mind, Esther? Okay, wait, all the way next to the computer.
I'm with the computer that way.
Yeah. Okay, and then I can
But put
also
the
much
microphone,
better
see the
take a
microphone.
picture. Okay, Bilha, Zilpa, Rachel, and Leah. Bilha, Rachel, Zilpa, and Leah. Go.
Oh wow, look at me.
We're so chazak, we'll never.
Iron lock. Don't let any negativity into Am Yisrael.
Hey, no negativity.
No negativity.
Oh, this is so cool, guys. Hello.
You are safe in here.
Hey.
Okay, and now stand still in a very strong position. Feel like you're not letting any negativity into Am Yisrael and into your life, and look at me. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay, that was good. Okay, that was good. And then I'll wait. I have like 5 more minutes. Don't go away because we're not. I have just one more point about them. If you look at how many grandchildren each of these each of these four mothers had. Okay, but here you see a whole long thing in text number 8, which we are gonna kind of split. But he had to take these 4 women, and this is actually really the answer why he had to marry these multiple women. Actually, I can't skip it, because he had to reach this certain spiritual palace, and in that palace there's these 4 angels, that these 4 wives correspond to these 4 angels, and they also, this is a secret, it's all from the Zohar, and they're the 4 heads of the rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden. These are the 4 mothers that bring us back to the Garden of Eden, and these 4 heads are the 4 women that whom Yaakov took, through whom he took possession of this palace. So this is, remember I said a lot, it's an exception that people did, that like biblical heroes have polygamy. It's each time an exception, and here in this kind of cryptic Zohar, it's explaining there was a spiritual underpinning of why he needed these 4 wives, and this is why. Okay, whatever it means, like, don't ask me too much, it's the Zohar. No one really understands. Right. Okay, but there is another spiritual world that beyond this world, that in this spiritual world, this was absolutely, how do you say, vital that Yaakov married these 4 wives. Okay, so now I'm moving to the children. It says in 46 verse 15, how many grandchildren each of them had. It starts Mem Vav, and it starts 15, but it goes on, and I don't have so much time. Okay, so basically, Leah had how many? 32 grandchildren. Okay, Zilpah had, Zilpah had 16. Rachel, oh wait, that's Zilpah. Rachel had 12, I think, but let me see. But it says 14. I don't know how it became 14. I really don't know, but it says 14. It says it there. And Bilhah had 7. What's the relationship between the amount of grandchildren that the maidservants has and that the mistresses have?
Double.
What? Double, exactly. Thank you, Bina. So the midres have exactly half. Half in Hebrew, how do we say that in Hebrew? Chetzi. That's also, so it's also the same word as chetz. Chetz. You know what chetz mean? Arrow. Okay. So what does that mean? So basically, okay. By the way, 32 spells out live, and 14 spells out yad. We said that Leah was the spiritual world, the heart, and Rachel was the world of action, the yad, the hand. Just by the way. But now, what is this whole thing about the arrow? The half is directed towards the goal like a flying arrow. When you have half, you have the dynamic. When you have whole, everything is fine, I don't have to do anything. When you have half, you're motivated, I want to make it whole. Right? And this longing and this yearning for making my life or the world whole, that is so powerful. It's like the arrow that you send up. Like, it has the power of, like, the bow held back so strong that the arrow will fly so high. So this is what these maidservants are about. They have exactly half. When you're low, you want to be, you want to be fulfilled. When you're from a low place, there's the dynamic. That's the same thing that we talked about in Megillat Esther, that when the moon had to diminish itself, then it introduced into the world the ability of longing, yearning for fulfillment. Like there's a lack of light, there's darkness, there's like a longing and a yearning in Hebrew kisufim for bringing back that light. And this is the dynamic that women, we are the mistresses of that. And that's why we bring the Geula, because we have it within us, because we're like the moon, that we want to bring back that fullness that is lost from women's light, and it's also lost from the whole world. And that's what invites evil into the world, that there is darkness. That's what invites Haman, that's what invites Hamas and all of the evil people. It's because the moon's light was diminished, but the job of the women, also Esther, but before Esther, also Bilhah and Zilpah specifically, the lowly one, Esther the lowly one, that she was an orphan, is the job of raising up and revealing that hidden light, like bringing back that hidden light. You have such yearning for it because you feel the absence of it when you're either an orphan or when you're either like in a low place. And that's the dynamic, that's the power of longing that will bring the Geula. So in that way, that's what they're going to be raised up. The Barzel is going to raise up to 2 steps up and bring the Geula. So I'm ending with that. Okay, Baruch Hashem, I made it more or less in time. Thank you very much. All the best. And bye-bye.
Everybody.
Oh, Juliet is here. I don't even see her.